begin our look at sports on the baseball diamond. The Bronx Bombers are back on the rails for their short series with the crosstown New York Mets, which begins tonight, weather permitting. The Yankees overcame costly late errors Sunday to edge the Cleveland Indians 7-6. Aaron Hicks delivered an RBI double with 2 outs in the 10th inning. In the process, the Pinstripers overcame some stunning errors in the 9th by stars Aroldis Chapman and Didi Gregorius, who is back in the lineup now, and avoided a sweep in the series finale on the road. The Yanks will trot out Masahiro Tanaka tonight. He will be reinstated from injury to start the opener of the 2-game series with the Amazons. The Mets come into tonight off a victory as well. This time, the club didn't waste Noah Syndergaard's pitching efforts. Syndergaard allowed 1 hit and 7 shutout innings. Todd Frazier homered and drove in 4 runs, and the Amazons beat the Colorado Rockies 6-1 on Sunday at Citi Field. Towing the rubber for the Mets will be lefty Jason Vargas. Vargas pitched his first shutout in 2 years Wednesday against San Francisco. He struck out a season-high 8 and threw 117 pitches, his most in 5 years. The 36-year-old Vargas has a 1.85 ERA in his last 7 starts, but he's 0-7 with a 6.84 ERA against the Yankees. First pitch is 7:05 from Yankee Stadium. Time for some quick hitters from around the world of sports. Prayers go out to former Boston Red Sox slugger David Big Papi Ortiz. He was shot in the back in his native Dominican Republic and is recovering in a hospital in Santo Domingo today, the Red Sox said in a statement. The 42-year-old was shot at close range during an ambush at a bar in the capital late on Sunday, CBS Boston reported, citing Dominican police. 2 other people were hit and wounded during the shooting, including a television host, CBS reported. Shocking news there. He is the king of the clay in tennis, no doubt about it. Rafael Nadal pulled away in what had suddenly become a tight final Sunday for his record-extending 12th French Open championship. It raises Nadal's Grand Slam title count to 18, within 2 of Roger Federer's record for a man. The 33-year-old Spaniard improved to 93-2 in the French Open, including a combined 24-0 in semifinals and finals. Very impressive. In motor racing, Sebastian Vettel missed out on winning the 2019 Canadian Formula One Grand Prix after incurring a 5-second penalty after an incident with Lewis Hamilton during the 48th lap on Sunday. It meant that while Vettel finished first, the race win was handed to Hamilton, who had stayed within 5 seconds of Vettel following the penalty. Vettel was penalized after running wide and nearly colliding with Hamilton. According to the judges, the Ferrari star re-entered the track illegally. You can be a hero 1 minute and a villain the next. 5-time world champion Hamilton, who won his 7th Canadian GP, tying the record held by Michael Schumacher, had always been cheered by Canadian fans, but when he got out of his car to be interviewed in pit lane and later when he walked out on the podium, he was booed soundly. Not his fault, but an interesting finish nonetheless up north. The next stop on Simon Pagenaud's Indianapolis 500 Victory Tour will be the White House this afternoon, when the winner of the 103rd Indy 500 will be honored by President Donald Trump. Trump called team owner Roger Penske and Pagenaud in victory lane at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway after the driver from France won on May 26th. Trump invited both to the White House for a congratulatory visit. As for the series itself, Joseph Newgarden was the king of Texas this past weekend. Newgarden held off Alexander Rossi in a 12-lap shootout to win Saturday night. The race at Texas Motor Speedway, the 3rd victory of the season for the IndyCar Series championship leader. Sticking with horsepower, but moving to horse racing, we have an end to the Triple Crown saga. Sir Winston provided a perfect finish to a crazy Triple Crown after a disqualification in the Kentucky Derby and a runaway horse in the Preakness. Of course, the Belmont Stakes goes to a 10-1 long shot. Sir Winston captured the $1.5 million race Saturday, holding off favored Tacitus by a length. My pick, War of Will, just didn't have it. The win gave trainer Mark Case the final 2 jewels in the showcase for 3-year-olds thoroughbreds. He won the Preakness with War of Will, who was expected to battle Tacitus in the 1.5-mile Belmont. Saturday night belonged to Sir Winston. Meanwhile, Sunday night on the ice, the Boston Bruins made sure the Stanley Cup Finals will have a Game 7. The Bruins defeated the St. Louis Blues 5-1 in Game 6. Game 7 will be this Wednesday night. It has been a familiar trend for Boston this postseason. They have played great in Game 6s and in Game 7s. The Toronto Raptors have played amazingly great the entire NBA Finals. Game 4 of the NBA Finals showcased just that. The Golden State Warriors could not summon the magic that has become their custom the past 5 years. The defending champs staring down the possible end of their dynasty in what could be the final game in Oracle Arena after 47 seasons went cold and fell flat. Kawhi Leonard, sensing opportunity, calmly picked apart the Warriors to key a 105-92 Game 4 victory that gave the Raptors a commanding 3-1 series lead. Game 5 is tonight, and it's do or die for the Warriors. The big question, will star Kevin Durant play? The Warriors have listed the forward as questionable for Game 5. The news comes after the Warriors star practiced with his teammates for the first time since injuring his right calf on May 8th against the Houston Rockets in the Western Conference semifinals. Head coach Steve Kerr was optimistic that Durant could play tonight if he went through Sunday's practice without any issues. We shall see. That game tips tonight at 9 p.m. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list for a note on Kevin Durant. Years ago, the Golden State Warriors watched as the 2016 title slipped out of their grasp during a frantic week that featured Draymond Green's suspension, an all-time performance from LeBron James, and an unprecedented Cleveland Cavaliers comeback from a 3-1 deficit. Here's Golden State's chance to author a 3-1 comeback of its own, but I don't think that can be done without Kevin Durant. The Dubs were able to make magic for a few games without him, but the Raptors are really good, and they have proved it. The Warriors did benefit from reinforcements Friday, including the return of Klay Thompson. Thompson scored a team-high 28 points and showed no ill effects from a hamstring strain. Nonetheless, the Warriors will need Durant. It won't be enough without him. Not playing in the NBA Finals has been the best thing to happen to Kevin Durant's legacy. The reigning two-time Finals MVP has not received much credit for his accomplishments in Golden State because he joined a team who had won a title without him. That lack of praise seemed valid when the Warriors closed out the Rockets and swept the Portland Trailblazers while he was out with a calf strain. It no longer does after 4 games against the Raptors. It is clear Golden State's best chance for a comeback is Durant. To make that improbable return, the tables have suddenly turned heading into free agency this summer. The question is no longer whether Durant can win without the Warriors, but whether the Warriors can win without him. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C. More open after this.